y'all ready? Okay. Once upon a woodland. Deep in the forest, there is a place called the Woodland. It is a beautiful and majestic land inhabited by critters who call themselves woodlanders. While most of the woodland lives in peace, it is not without its dangers. Threats of apex predators lurk in the shadows, and the mysterious remnants of demonic forces remain a threat to anyone who ventures forth alone into the wood. But for the woodlanders who stick together with their close communities, every day is a beautiful day, especially today, because today is Market Day. Market Day is a weekly event that takes place within Hoppington, the largest community within the woodland. Critters from all over the woods gather together, bringing their wares and goods to trade, socialize, and revel together. We're going to start our story with a character who is not a woodlander, but an outsider. A young raccoon, escorted by a very flamboyant and excitable goose named Honkers, with a set of goggles on his eyes and a yellow cape with like those 90s flames across the edge. And this goose, Honkers, is excitedly chatting about all of the things that the woodland has to offer. He tells our raccoon all about Hoppington and how everyone there is kind of related distantly. He tells you all about the Summerstill Pond and the beautiful choir that plays and practices there. The Beaver Dam, you have to check it out. It is a marvel, a building wonder. And you definitely need to visit the shed one of these nights. They have these beautiful sermons to their beautiful god, the filament. Reggie, will you please describe your character for us?
Of course. So, hi guys. I'm playing as Reggie. She's a little raccoon, a little shorter on the average height and stuff. And yeah, she grew up in an environment that kind of wasn't the best of place for her. She's looking to move on into better atmospheres and stuff. She's a little trash goblin though, and so she likes to get into everybody's trashes and take the plastic forks and knives and other stuff and other just utensils. She has a little coat on and stuff and a little beanie, so I wore a beanie today. And yeah, she just wants a better life for herself, so she's leaving home and trying something new. And found a goose along the way.
Yes, Honkers, the daredevil goose. Honkers got his reputation by most willingly daring to cross the asphalt wastes where infernal machinery race across. It is a death wish, but you yourself had to cross this waste to get to the woodland. And Honkers was so kind as to show you the safest way to go about doing that in the dead of night, though you did manage to catch a glimpse of the bright, glowing white eyes of a demon from far off racing towards you. You didn't quite catch a glimpse of its terrifying body before you slipped into the safety of the trees. But you could hear the sound of it screaming past you, and it gave you chills.
Oh, I didn't like that.
You definitely saw the bodies of other less fortunate critters along the waste.
All right.
But we will get into that in another day. You put that memory far behind you as it was very hard to watch. You are now arriving in the beautiful town of Hoppington. Hoppington is made of 5 barrows. The one that Honkers is leading you to is known as the Market Barrow. The top is covered in stalls of not only rabbits, but all kinds of animals from all across the woodland. And the insides are carved out through the roots to make big chambers where there are speakeasies and lounges and storage places. And this is just, it's hopping in Hoppington today. Some of the stalls that you pass, you see, of course, you see rabbits selling lots and lots of produce. They're vegetables and woven plant fibrous baskets and blankets. You see some squirrels peddling nuts and berries and berry wines and coffees. You see ants selling clay and stone and other earthy materials. You see spiders selling silk rope and silk blankets and very, very high fashion clothing. A couple of boars are selling their truffles and root beers. Some snakes, surprising to see snakes here, but they seem very friendly, sharing their shedded snakeskin and snakeskin clothing. You also notice that there are gophers and birds who are selling bright, shiny baubles. In fact, baubles and shiny things seem to be the primary form of currency outside of just straight up barter and trade. Honkers does warn you, or he advises you, that while you can also trade in favors and services, you better make good on them because your reputation is very important. And if you make a promise to somebody to receive as part of a trade and you don't make good on that bargain, the forest will remember. Do you think there's anything that would catch your eye as you walk through the stalls on this very busy market?
Do they have, I know this is going to sound silly, but juice boxes, but in D&D form in this world? Do they have them in any kind of container, like juice that they've, either oranges or apples or grapes?
Yeah. So you would notice that the squirrels are selling all kinds of juices. They don't have, you have seen juice boxes, but there seems to be an absence of anything artifact related. Artifact is the term used collectively by the woodland for anything that is non-animal made. You do see they are selling juices. They usually sell them within the rinds. Like an orange juice would be served in a half cut, like inside of an orange skin. There is clay and vase earthware they have made using the materials found in the woods. But yeah, what kind of, you see the squirrels just kind of like, they have a big container and they're like pouring with the little spout. They're pouring different types of juices. You see berry and orange and apple, and they notice you and they kind of rub their little squirrel hands together. What can I get you?
All right, listen, I see you don't have any plastic here, but that's okay. I'm looking for, do you have lemonade? Is that lemonade or is that not?
Lemonade.
You got lemons?
Lemon. It's not really in season. Lemon. No.
Lemon? What about grapes?
Grapes we have.
Grapes?
We got grapes.
All right, and then I ask for one of those little things, and then how much do I owe you? Or what do I pay you with?
They kind of quirk their eyes and they look you up and down. Do you have anything shiny on your person?
I do. I slide back my jacket and then I slide out a paper clip. I'm like, pass it forward. This here. It's unlike anything else.
They all like go, hush. They look at it. What is this in? Huh. Sure. You know what? And they they pass it, like the whole family of squirrels pass it down the line. And all the juice you want for the rest of the day. Happy market day.
I turned to Honkers and was like, "Do you see the Honkers? Me and you got juice the rest of the day. They didn't have lemonade."
That's really good of you. Wait, no, I don't know if I want to do that voice all day. Hold on, let me think. That's wait. No, hold on. I have one even better. Well, that's really mighty great. But I'd be careful about sharing your artifacts. They didn't seem to mind, but around here, that kind of stuff is looked down at with suspicion.
What happens to those under suspicion?
People just might start to avoid you.
I won't have, well, I mean, I don't have any friends yet, but I mean, you're my friend, but I won't have friends. Okay, I'll keep these a secret.
You definitely want friends in the forest. You don't, being part of a community is kind of how you survive out here. You don't want to get lost in the owl's wood. You don't want to be taken by old Moon Eyes. They say it's the last thing you see before you're taken are 2 giant yellow orb moons and the scream. You'll be fine. You just gotta make some friends. And he'll like pat you on the back with a feathery a feathery slap on the back. Let us move as you take your juice boxes and start traversing the stalls. We are going to move. I changed the music. What have I gotten myself into? Too many music changes. Across a beautiful pond. The waters are still covered in lily pads and reeds. In a secluded area with a single lily pad, you're kind of like surrounded by reeds and cattails. A little frog and a little mantis in tandem are breathing watched over by a larger mantis who is observing her students, Itzel and Ken. Itzel, will you describe yourself?
Yeah, I'm Itzel. I'm a frog. My mom would really rather I be at choir practice right now, but I'd way rather be hanging out with my mentor, whose name is
you could just call her Sensei. You don't know her name, she's just Sensei.
Sensei Kamakari Sensei. She teaches me how to be sneaky and how to fight. And I think that's way more important than silly little singing in the choir.
That's right, because most of the frogs in the Summerstill Pond belong to the choir, along with the crickets and the grasshoppers. It is a very prestigious group, and you probably wouldn't be in it if it weren't for the nepotism fact that your mother, Ibli, is the chorus master. But who cares about Mom right now? You are currently performing your learned kata. What do you think it should be called?
How about something like the disappearing firefly?
I'm writing that down. I feel like your the kata is like
yeah.
Will you please make me an acrobatics check as you are making your moves alongside your sensei's son, Ken the mantis.
We've got a 25.
You go through your movements with such ease. I'm going to roll for Ken. Let's see who's doing better.
Oh no.
What did you roll?
What did I say, 25?
He also rolled a 25. He is catching up with you. He is keeping, every time he shoots you, a nasty glance with his big red eyes, but not so obvious that his mother notices. You go through the movements while Sensei paces back and forth with her hands, her big hand claws behind her back. Let the air flow through you. The firefly is only visible when it wants to be. One moment, it is here. As her claws right next to you. She is so fast. And then, in an instant, over here! Ken winces. Now for your solo forms. Ken, step forward. Ken struts forward and he starts to go through his very well practiced. And he does okay. After he is finished, he steps back and then smirks at you. Your turn, Froggy.
I'm not scared of you.
Itzel, please step forward and perform your kata.
Is that another acrobatics check?
Yes.
23.
Ken sneers as you do a much better job than he does.
Yes.
He sighs heavily as he sees his mom shaking her head in approval, and she comes over and she bows to you at the end and just with her little... You have done well, Itzel. You will be a disappearing firefly soon enough. Ken, your stance was sloppy and lazy. It is time for you to do more wall sits. But Mom, go. And he slinks over and he glares at you and he's like, you should have stuck to the choir, frog. And then scuttles off to practice.
We'll just smirk.
Don't mind him, my pupil. He just has more practicing to do. But for now, I have a secret mission. I need you to go deep into the barrows of Hoppington and retrieve for me my favorite Red Lotus whiskey.
Anything for you, Sensei.
Yeah, and get something for yourself too. It's market day. Say hello to your friends. Just don't forget my whiskey, please.
That'll be my number one priority.
Very good. You're starting to sense maybe this is the reason why she keeps you around. You're very eager to do her errands.
And I'm excited. Itzel's excited to go to market because that's where that's where she can usually find her friend Janice.
Yes. You do have a lot of friends, actually, that you see at market day. And it's been a while since you've seen them because you've been really caught up in learning this new kata, this new form. You've been really excited about this one. You're hoping to get your glow belt soon. Moving forward, so you are going to start you head towards the market barrow. Just entering the market barrow, a very beautiful yet reserved moth with her wings dangling by her sides like a glorious regalia walks through the stalls. She is from the Shed, a region not too far away on the shores of the pond. She has been sent by her father, Archbishop Gregorian, the Archbishop of the Filament, to retrieve sacramental bee bread, which is used in your sermons. And tonight is a very, very, very special sermon. So you need the good stuff. So you have been sent to Hoppington to find the bees who will provide you with what you need. Silk, will you please describe yourself?
So I'm Silk. I'm a pink moth. I'm very small, and I'm just sort of very quiet, and I try to keep to myself. And I've always got like this big book that I'm carrying around because I like to take notes on interesting stuff and look at cool artifacts. And it's like really crowded here in Market Day this year.
It is very crowded, although you do notice you once in a while will bump into other insect critters. Y'all are very much shorter than the rest of the animals. Kind of like, I guess a good allegory would be like halflings and goblins compared to like full-grown men, elves, and orcs. So you are of the smaller critters, but you bump into some other insects. And every time they do, they will look at you and your regalia and smile and bow very reverently and say, "Bulb be with you. May the bulb be with you.
Bulb be with you, yeah.
Praise the filament."
Yep.
You make your way through the stalls, and you know where the bees usually set up shop. But as you approach, you notice there is a group of insects there you've never seen before. As you approach and get closer, you notice they're all holding big umbrellas to block out the sun, and they're all wearing sunglasses. They seem to be roaches. They seem to be arguing with the bees at the stall. Something about trying to make a trade, but what they have brought, this like rotten, fetid dirt crap, is just not what the bees are interested in trading for, and it's making them mad, and it kind of starts to escalate where they start yelling at each other, and eventually the roaches will kind of like grab their crap, put it back in their bag, and just and turn, and they'll see you. And they
gosh. They're looking right at me, aren't they?
They're looking at you, but they walk by you and kind of just seething. You hear one of them go, "Light lover."
Yeah, as they get close, I turn invisible. I could just do that.
Oh, you could just do that?
Yeah.
Wait, how does that work?
I have to be in dim light or darkness, but I can just turn invisible.
You are in bright daylight.
Oh, no. Well, I try to turn invisible.
You go. You try to turn invisible, and you just see like they walk by. One of them calls you light lover, and one of them goes, "You ain't nothing without your precious bulb." And
just frozen in fear.
They'll like scuttle off. And then you see one of the bee sisters. They're all like dressed like nuns, I think. The bee sisters. And they go, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, Silk, have you come for your bee bread?"
Am I dead? Am I still alive?
"No, you're still alive. They wouldn't dare do anything in broad daylight. Them roaches, they have no power in the sun."
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
It doesn't have to make sense. This is a fairy tale.
I don't know what that means, but hello, bees.
They all look the same, like Nurse Joy, but nuns, I guess. A couple of them start quickly like wrapping up these loaves of bee bread and like cloth. "How about, would you like a mead to take the edge off? Honey mead on us."
Please.
She passes you a little tankard. It's all like a wooden, cute, adorable thing, has like a leaf at the end.
I just aggressively slug this drink down. Just
So sweet. Have you guys had mead? It is so sweet. As you're waiting.
Okay, I feel better.
"Oh, that's all right. If you want any more, let us know. We have plenty. We always bring a lot for Market Day." "Oh, are you going to be in the service tonight?"
I mean, I'll be there. I like to watch it, though.
"Oh, your father might want you to say a few words. It's a very, very special sermon. I heard a few of the elder moths. they're going to be joining the Great Filament tonight. It's a proper send-off.
I don't know. I don't know if they'll want me to do that after last year. I got so nervous I threw up.
Oh, that was a year ago, darling. That's like a lifetime ago in our standards.
Oh man, I'm getting nervous again. Do you have more of that mead?
Absolutely. This time I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw as you chug another glass of mead.
It would be my pleasure. I got 13.
You're feeling a little bit buzzed. Nothing crazy, just a little buzzed. We are going to cut down into another barrow of Hoppington. Deep in the artisan's barrow, a single... Oh, I gotta rearrange you guys. A single rabbit is maneuvering.
Crispy.
It's okay. Yeah, sometimes I don't know how to make everyone stay in their spot. It's weird. A single rabbit is maneuvering through the tunnels to the chamber of the only blacksmith in all of Hoppington. You enter the chamber where a single mole is kind of hunched over, beating a piece of metal. He hears you enter. Janice, will you describe yourself?
I play Janice Hopland. She's a large rabbit who seeks adventure. Her abnormally large family runs most of the farms and markets all over the area. And she is kind of like a black sheep of the family. She spends most of her time with the blacksmith mole, fascinated by weapons, uninterested in growing crops like the rest of her family. Just wants adventure.
Oh, is that you, Janice? He does not turn his head, as he is blind and can't see you anyway.
Yes, it's me.
Ah, just in time. And he pulls up a great glaive. Now, most of the weapons on the rack are all made of wood. Wood is the primary material that if anyone makes a weapon, it's usually wooden. But this glaive at the very end is kind of a rough, repurposed, recycled piece of metal that has been shaped into a glaive. He slowly brings it to you. Now, this weapon is made out of a scrap of metal that you found some weeks back while exploring. Metal is extremely rare, and some folk look at it with suspicion, others with curiosity, others with, I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's weird. But you knew that this had potential, and you brought it to your friend Smokey, the only mole who is willing to work with this material. And he presents you with this beautiful glaive. How does it look?
I have no words. It is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, that's great. No, oh, here. And he pulls out a little linen cloth. Make sure you wrap that blade up. You don't want unnecessary attention. Some people might not understand. You don't want to concern anyone. Oh,
I just can't keep my cool. I grab it and I have to swing it around.
Wait, there's things getting knocked off the walls. Now, remember, you are young, and I know your family wants you to settle down and have 6 dozen kids, as all rabbits do, but you only live once. You should go and find adventure. Don't live to regret. Live a life that you can look back on and be proud of. Oh, I need you to, and he like kind of like reaches around and his hand finds a crate. It's full of tools. I repaired these for the beavers last week. Would you mind bringing this crate to the beavers' stall? They'd be very happy to have it back.
Oh, absolutely.
Great.
I'll wrap up the tip of it, but I'm going to keep it with me. It's like the best
Oh
things
yeah,
that ever happened
it
to
like
me.
fits right nicely against your back. The
Yeah.
tip is kind of like wrapped up. Anyone looking at it would just assume it is a normal wooden glaive. But it's your little secret. Your mother would freak if she ever saw it.
Yes. All right. I'll go to complete the task with stars in my eyes, just out of control, just excited.
As you exit out of the Artisan Barrow and into the light of day, you look across the way and you see Market Barrow, bustling as always, and you head down to where the direction would be to the beavers' stall, and you're gonna bump into one of our little friends, and I'm gonna roll a dice to see who you bump into.
Yay.
If I can find a dice. There we go. Ooh, this is my first dice set ever.
Nice.
Okay. Janice, the first thing you see is a very squeamy moth leaning over with a big tankard at the bees' stall. And you recognize Silk as one of the priestesses of this kind of quirky little religion that a lot of the bugs belong to. The filibuster, the filibertos, the something about a bulb, something about light. But you know Silk, and you see her there looking very uncomfortable. And Silk, you also see Janice hopping down the way, looking with a big crate full of tools. I feel like you just see Janice's ears and some legs and a little set of eyes, like through the junk.
Yeah, I'll just raise up 2 right hands and wave with 2 hands.
Aw.
Janice, what do you do when you see your friend?
Oh, I hop right over through the little, I'm staring at her through the crates and trying to talk to her and finally just put them down.
And I'll just flutter up and sit on top of the pile of junk. Hi, Janice.
Hi, Silk. How are you?
I'm great. It's such a great day. Market day's so fun. I mean, it's a little crowded, but I'm having just the best time at the bee stall.
Oh, would you like a meat too, Janice? The bee hands you a...
I look at her and I look at her empty. She's had more than one, right? I'll have one with you for sure. Is everything okay?
Everything's great now.
Okay.
Are you gonna come see the filament tonight?
Definitely.
You're like, oh, that's right. It's filament. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to get there before it gets dark because that's the best. You get to see it light up.
Got it.
As you guys are chit-chatting, let's see who joins next. Aha. Reggie, you are being escorted through the stalls with Honkers, who is just going to every stall, all excited. And finally, he's like, okay. Or wait, hold on. Honker's voice. Okay. No. It's too hard. It hurts. Oh, okay. I'm tired of this little kid drink. We're going to get something real good. Here, come on. I'm going to bring you and get some some of the bee meat. It's really good. And he's going to guide you over to the bee stall, and he notices Janice and Silk. And Honkers is super eccentric. He's a little bit of like a local legend. Everybody knows who he is, and he's really good at remembering faces. He kind of like doesn't belong anywhere and yet belongs to everyone kind of a character. And he sees Silk and Janice, and he honks like excitedly, just and then he like scuttles over and gives you like spreads his giant wings. His wingtips are like painted in red, and he like sweeps and gives you both like a little hug, and his neck is like turns all the way around. And hey, Reggie, I would like you to meet my friends.
Okay, run over. Well, hi,
everybody, meet the darling Miss Reggie. She's from out of town.
Wow. I've never met anyone from out of town before.
I never have either.
Out of towner? This is so exciting, you guys. Hi, I'm Janice.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
You want some mead?
Yeah, I've never had this. I heard it was good though. That's what Honker says.
Oh yeah, drink up, darling. And he like grabs, he gets like 3 in each like wing grip and hands you one of them, and then takes the rest, and it's just like at that moment, Ixel passes by. You're on your way to get some spirits yourself, but you notice the bee stall, and you notice your friends.
Okay, so Itzel will be looking around. What did you say the whiskey was called?
Red Lotus whiskey.
So I'm scanning the stalls for the Red Lotus whiskey, and I see at the bee stand two of my friends, and then the town goose, and
the town goose.
I really relate to honkers. And I see someone new, so I will come over and just kind of be like super cool and casual, and just be like, "Hey guys, who's this?"
Oh hey, I'm Reggie. This doesn't taste very good. Do you want it? What is it? I take another sip and I'm like,
well, that is blasphemous. My dear Itzel, it's so good to see you. This is my new friend Reggie. She's from out of town.
Oh, out of town, huh? That's new.
Honkers looks extremely frustrated that nobody is as impressed as he is about out of town. He goes, "Oh wow, why don't you tell him about the?" And then he kind of looks around and then decides not to say anything because he remembers where he is.
How bad this drink is? Yeah, I'll tell him. I slap it on the table. I don't want it, but I have other things. And I bring out my juice bottle or the juice container.
The bees start to buzz their wings a little annoyed. They're like, "Well, if you didn't want it." "Oh, ladies, I'm sorry. My friend she's not used to this kind of sweet, high-end delicacies. Her palate is on the humbler side."
Gotta cover my mouth. Reggie is very socially awkward person. She doesn't know when to shut it.
You don't have mead where you come from?
No, not really. No. I stayed away from anything that tastes to this tastefulness.
What kind of stuff do you like?
Oh, I like oranges. I like berries. I like this other thing, but I don't know what it's called. It's like I don't know. I'll have to somehow show you one day. But anything that's sweet. I like sugar.
Well, that's really weird that you don't like mead because it's nothing but sugar. But hey, you're lost. And he's gonna like take your mug and just
down it.
Well,
Listen, I relate to Reggie. I like sweet stuff and I don't like mead.
Yeah, I thought, I had mead for the first time when we went to play that game, Bricky, and I thought I would love it, and I didn't like it at all.
It's too sweet.
It's like too much sugar for not enough payoff.
Yeah.
Um,
It just tastes like rotten.
yeah, it's just like, Honkers will look at Silk and like lower his head. You're like as tall as his body, and then his head will come all the way down to meet you. Oh, don't you have a special event happening today?
Uh-huh.
Are you
Oh,
excited?
You should come, newcomer.
Wait,
Oh,
there's a special event tonight. Crap.
yeah.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to be there, Edsel.
Yeah, crap.
Uh-oh. Well, we can all go. I mean, I think Reggie really should see the bulb or light or sorry, what is
The filament.
The filament. Sorry.
You have to see the filament.
The filament. It's crazy. It's this light that just appears when it gets dark out and nobody knows why. They've made like
Some
a whole
people call
cult
it the
around
I
it.
know
Filament.
why.
Why?
Because of the Moth Queen. There's a whole story. There's a bunch of lore and everything, I'll tell you.
You know
Everything
what?
about
It's
it.
a great day trip or night trip, technically. Y'all starting right before sunset, right? I imagine you have some festivities before the light turns on.
Yeah, I mean, I usually just kind of sit and read for a while until it starts, but
Well, I will make sure that Reggie gets there and gets to see all that the shed has to offer. You all finish your needs, and Janice, you remember you're supposed to bring your crate to the beavers.
Oh, bulbs. I forgot. I was supposed to bring this stuff down to the beavers. Does anybody want to come with me?
Just raise my hand as high up as I can go.
Come here, Reggie.
I'll come with you. I just gotta grab some Fire Lotus whiskey for my sensei.
Perfect.
Oh, the bees are like, the Fire Lotus whiskey. 1 second. And they are going to go to the back. They come out with this like beautiful bottle with like lotus petals. It's like a liqueur kind of type of bottle thing. And they put it in like a little bag and then they hand it to you. It's really waxy.
With the extra money that my sensei gave me, I'm gonna look around to see if there are any vendors selling like basically unhewn arrowheads or like obsidian or anything like that.
You would
that I can make
find
daggers
that either with the ants or the where's my list? Or the gophers. They are typically ones who find flint and obsidian and stone. Is that where you want to go?
Yeah, I definitely want to just see if I can get one of those.
Beavers or ants?
Let's go to the ants.
I'll come with you.
Are all of you going to see the ants?
Is this a center for ants?
This whiskey bag is really neat. I feel like once you're done with the whiskey, you could put a lot of math rocks in here.
I'm looking for stabby rocks.
You all head down to the ant colony, their little stall, and yeah, you see they're kind of like the bees, except they're all like bros, and they're all like, and they're just kind of like conveyor belting different like rocks and pebbles, and they have all these crates filled with different types of just like grains of dirt and sand and clay and all kinds of things. And they're not the most like polite, but they're very just like straight to business, and you're able to like pick through some of the crates. Give me an investigation check to see how well you do. Or not how well you do, but how many usable stones you find.
Well,
my geese. I rolled a 2 on the dice.
Oh no.
A 2.
Okay. You dig through, you find good enough materials, but you were kind of hoping for something specifically shiny and nice, but you just find enough. It's a little disappointing, but whatever. What do you
Not
think?
that great of a haul this year.
What do you think Itzel would be trading with?
Probably pretty pebbles from the bottom of the pond that have just been kind of smoothed over from any erosion and everything.
Okay.
Particularly the quartz ones.
Yeah, they'll take it. They'll kind of throw it in the crate with the other rocks, but they're happy to make the trade. The Woodlander economy doesn't make any sense. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Sweet.
It makes no sense. All right, you have your shards of rock that you can make into arrowheads later. And then the rest of you.
Make it into kunai.
Perfect. You all head down to the beaver stall. The beaver stall is really nicely made. Like, it's fancy, it's glitzy, it's beautifully carved poles and platforms with etchings of beavers and trees and leaves and streams. And the beavers are all very, very well dressed. They're very lady and gentlemanly. And they're selling their furniture and their carved goods. And Janice, you see the beaver that you are looking for named Bucky. And you know that's who you have to that's who you have to give your crate to.
Okay, I'm going to go over to Bucky and try and wave to him, but my hands are full. And I'm going to trip on my feet and probably fall.
Make an acrobatics check to see if you trip on your feet and fall. Or you trip, but let's see if you save the tools.
Alright. So, I never rolled on. Here. Hold on.
Take your time. Are you looking at your character sheet?
Yes.
Okay. Why can't I can't view it for some reason. That's weird. Here, I'll tell you what to click. Yeah, I'm struggling to find your sheet. I'll just tell you where to find it.
I rolled an 11 plus 4. Well, did that add the plus 4 to it? I don't think it did.
Did you click on the acrobatics word?
I did, but it just... Oh, there it goes. Okay. 18.
18. You start to trip, but you very gracefully manage to balance yourself before the crate falls. This does get the attention of Bucky, who is in the middle of making a trade with a squirrel, and he looks over and he goes, "Oh, dear me! Those are for me, aren't they?"
Yep.
Oh,
Squirrel? They're for Bucky.
Bucky rushes over and takes it from you. He's a little bit bigger than you. And he goes and looks through. Oh, everything seems in order. Ah, thank you, Janice. Oh, are all of these your friends? Itzel, I recognize you from the pond.
Hey, Bucky.
And Moth, are you here on behalf of the filament?
Yep. I just came to pick up some stuff.
Oh, well, my wife told me to give you an offering. She's a spiritual weirdo, I guess. And he hands you a little bag full of bark. You burn this, it's like an incense, smells nice.
Thank you.
Ah.
May the light be with you.
May the light be with you. And Janice, I have something for you. And you know what? All your little friends. We have some extra stuff here. And he pulls out a little crate. And you all get to pick from the crate. Inside, you see a carved duck, a frog gyro, which is one of those like things, a large round carved sunflower, and a small woodenly carved hammer that's like very beautifully, intricately decorated. So everyone go ahead and pick something. Does anything catch any of your eyes?
I like the sunflower.
Like the sunflower. He hands it to you. It's like kind of big.
Yeah.
You feel like you could hide behind this if you needed to. It provides cover for you because you're small. Janice, what would you like to have? I've got this duck. I've got this gyro. This pestle. Oh, and there's also a wooden pestle, like a for grinding spices and stuff.
I'll take the pestle.
Hands it to you. It fits nicely in your hand. You're like, oh, I can make some homemade tea with this.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, little frog Itzel?
Well, I haven't been practicing my singing, so that might help me in tonight's concert.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take the little froggy thing.
Okay. Which leaves the hammer and the carved duck. It looks at Reggie. Are you a newcomer? I haven't met you before. Not many raccoons in the woods.
Well, new to town. It's been great so far. I got some juice. How big is that duck? Is it like a wooden duck? Is it a?
He kind of like it's like this big, I would say. Now, the trick with this duck is it's very buoyant. And you can use it as a flotation device. So if you're trying to cross any streams or ponds for a little non-swimmer like yourself.
You saying I drown? You probably may be right.
Well,
I'll take it.
Hands you the duck.
Just go and take it off.
You put it in your cartoon dimensional butt pocket. Everyone has a dimensional butt pocket.
I love it.
Yeah, I just place mine in my gi.
You all get your little presents. And Silk, you look up at the sky and you notice that the afternoon is getting late and it might be time to start heading back to the shed.
We should all go back to the filament together.
I'm gonna drop this off to my sensei.
You know it's on the way.
Is your sensei gonna be there?
Oh.
Would I know if my sensei would be there?
Probably.
I imagine.
This is like not just a weekly service, or a nightly service. This is like a very special one.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. I guess I could give it to her while she's there.
You're gonna love this, Reggie. The filament is so beautiful.
I'm excited.
Some people say filament, some people say full of shit.
I kind of giggle.
No offense. No offense, Silk.
I mean, that actually really does hurt my feelings, but okay.
So I said some people, not me, you know? I'm totally into it.
Okay.
Are you all leaving? Is there any other shopping or things that you want to get while you are at the market before you head to the shed?
Can I grab some tea to make some tea, or can I look for a tea plant to make some tea for my friends that are nervous about tonight?
You know that some of the stalls here run by some of your relatives would have be selling tea and tea leaves And so you'll see one of your like second cousins 3 times removes husband's brother is running the stall. Oi, Janice! You here for some tea? You want spot tea? There's too many voices. Yeah, he'll pack you up some fresh tea leaves, tie it in the cutest little packaging, and hand it, and just to everyone. Oh, and who's your lovely friend? He leans in and looks at Reggie.
This is Reggie. Reggie's from out of town.
Hey, I got juice and a duck today.
Wow, that's an impressive day.
Mm-hmm.
Quite the haul.
Oh, Janice, I'm happy to see you making friends. You spend way too much time underground.
Like yeah, it's nice to see you too.
All right, bye.
Billy.
Did you call him Billy?
Yeah.
Billy? Yeah, like 29 or 30 of your relatives are named Billy.
For
Billy.
the record, Janice, if you wanted to spend time underground, I'd support it.
Thank you. I
What
appreciate
are you doing underground? You forgot that Honkers is still with you.
Oh, right. Goose
Hi,
jump scare.
Honkers.
He's so big. He's a big goose that sometimes he's just this big white orb that's bobbing behind you, and then his head is your guys' head size. So his head will just like come down and talk to you.
What do I do underground? Is
Yeah.
that what you're listening?
I almost forgot what I asked.
Well, I spend time with my friend.
Oh.
The mole. I spend time with the mole underground, and we make shiny weapons. Well, we just finally made a shiny weapon.
Shiny? What do you mean?
I'll like check around and like make sure no one's looking, and I'll pull it off my back.
You like lift the cloth and it like glows. Everyone's face
Yes.
is like hit by the Pulp Fiction glow.
Yes.
Wow.
My eyes turn into saucers, just like excited.
Wow.
What
Where did
is-
you get that?
What was his name?
Smokey?
Smokey! Smokey made it for me.
Smokey the mole.
Did Smokey know he was working with an artifact?
Yeah, I found this chunk of metal, and he made this for me.
How is Silk's reaction to seeing the artifact?
I mean, she's definitely really into it. She's studying the artifact, and I think actually she'll take out her book and sort of like try to find the page that basically identifies what this is.
You're like flipping through all your little drawings and like mishmash. It's like a junk journal almost.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to tell, but make a perception check. Silk.
Okay.
19. This piece of metal has been banged together, but as you look at it, it does resemble a piece of something you have seen. Above table, it looks like a chunk of a gardening tool, like a spade or something, but to you guys, you don't know what that means. You just know that you've seen something like that, maybe behind the shed, rusted and half buried in the ground.
Where did you
I think
find
it might have
that
been a
metal?
nail.
Is it strong?
We haven't used it yet. I can't wait to duck behind the woods and practice.
Well, let me know. I'd be happy to spar with you.
Oh, I would love that.
kind of jealous that
Oh.
she has this cool secret artifact weapon.
Hey, you be careful who you show that to. Not everyone is understanding. Anyways,
Mom's happy.
Finally quit staring at it and cover it up again all quick.
Honker is just gonna go with his wings to create like a curtain for you so you can hide it. And then, oh,
Hunker's got my back.
Yeah. I love hunkers. Goose.
That's silly goose. He adjusts his little goggles. Yeah, so are we going down to the filament? Or is there any other...
Right. We
Yeah.
should probably hurry.
You
My
all
mom's gonna kill me if we're late.
get your stuff together, and the four of you make your way north along the little forest path to the filament. And the filament is pretty close to the pond, but it's still like, let's not go near the promenade because I don't want Mom to see me. She might still be practicing. Let's just skip right to the shed. All of you make your way through the woods, down the road. There's lots of little critters going up and down this well-traveled road that connects Hoppington with Summerstill Pond and the shed. You see badgers and weasels and squirrels and other such critters with wheelbarrows or hand carts, just kind of like moving back and forth, greeting each other. Good morning, good morning. You notice that the closer you get to the shed, more insects are occupying the road as they are heading to this very special filament service. When you arrive at the shed, this forest opens up into a glade where you can see the sky. There is a single structure in the middle. It is very large and ancient, an ancient ruin of unknown origin. It's rectangular with a big opening at one of the long ends. You see flying insects and crawling insects kind of going to and from, as the shed is actually considered a pretty large community. It's not as large as Hoppington, but a lot of mostly insect, but some mice and other smaller critters make their home here. And at the very entrance of this structure, right above the opening, is a single cube that dangles. It is dark, and it just kind of is there. Silk knows this as the filament when it is dormant. But in about 30 minutes to an hour, as the sun sets and it grows dark, the filament will touch everyone with its glorious golden, or not really golden, white, yellow light.
It's fluorescence.
It's fluorescence. Silk, you know that you have to bring this bee bread to your father. Underneath the filament, there's all these like rows of benches that have been set up. They're always like brought out for people to sit, and it's kind of like a chapel situation, except instead of like the pulpit and then everything like in front of the pulpit, all the benches in front of the pulpit, it's more like a circular amphitheater style with the pulpit in the center. And you see different bugs and mice and other critters, some even the larger critters, kind of finding a little spot or laying out a blanket. And you see your dad on the pulpit giving instructions to other moths to help set up. And they're like kind of flying around, making sure people find their seats. And he'll see you and he'll go, "Oh, Silk. And he'll like wave you over with two of his left hands.
Coming, Archbishop.
You can call me Dad. It's so weird. how's my favorite girl? Wait. He's gonna be a daddy-daughter kind of guy. How are you doing, sweetheart? Did you get the bee bread?
I got it, Dad.
Thanks, honey. Honey, zing.
Yeah, I told that joke too, but they didn't laugh.
Oh, that's a shame. You'll get there. You just gotta become a dad like me one day. Anyways, hey, I was thinking I would really, really like it if you helped pass out the sacrament this time. I know you're nervous, but I think you're ready.
I don't know.
It'll be fine. Look, your little brother will help you. You probably have like a lot of siblings. You're not particularly close to any one more than another, but there's another moth who just kind of looks over at you. I don't know, what should his name be?
I don't know. I only came up with one moth name.
I thought of moth puns and I was like, you know what? Let's just go with old school sounding names. So your dad's name is Gregorian.
Call him Brian.
Yeah.
Your
Brother Brian.
That's definitely Brian.
Brian, who's younger than you, is like, Silk, you're gonna do a good job. Puts his all four hands. I believe in you, sis. And then he flutters off.
My tummy hurts.
Oh, sweetheart, what's wrong? Why is your tummy hurt?
I think I drank too much mead.
Oh, today of all days. You know what? I respect your decisions. You can drink whenever you want to drink. I would feel more comfortable if you did it at home because little young bodies, we don't know how much you can handle yet. And I want to be there to watch over you. And he starts just going on and on about just being a total dad. And then he sees, oh, you brought your friends. That'll be great. Hello, everyone. And he just kind of like waves at the rest of you. It's still Janice and Reggie. Oh, is this and he flutters over to Reggie and takes your little paws, or he offers his hands.
What's that one paw?
Yeah, he takes one of your hands. Welcome. I've never seen you before.
Thank you. Your filament is quite lovely.
Oh, she really is, but you haven't even seen her yet. When she wakes, it will be awe and splendor. And Ibley and the maddest frog with bright red cheeks stomps over like
Crap.
It's all
Hey.
you missed practice again.
It's all right. I have a backup plan.
I don't like the way you said that, but you get your booty in with the other choir right now. We are warming up.
All right. Ugh, fine. I'll see you girls later. Enjoy the show, Reggie.
Her neck is like... Gregorian shakes his head.
Oh, bye, Silk. Good luck. You're gonna do great passing up the sacrament.
Oh, my tea. I shove my tea to Itzel before she takes off.
She'll just down it.
I give it. Yeah.
Wait, is it a glass of tea or is it just tea leaves that you ate?
I don't know.
Gross.
Maybe I grabbed some cups on the way and I just like made two cups of tea for Silk and Itzel. And I'm just like shoving them in their hands while they're dealing with disappointment and stuff.
Yeah, she'll just throw it back. Thanks, Janice. You sure know how to brew it.
It's like throat coat.
Exactly.
That caffeine better not, or that tea better not have any caffeine. It constricts the throat.
Oh, she doesn't give a shit about that. Are you kidding me? I don't think my throat could get more constricted than this.
As you walk by, you hear this like very lovely violining sound, but it's really loud and kind of like blanketing the area. And up in the rafters, kind of you see looking down is this hot girl cricket, Bethany, who's just sitting there with her long legs, just rubbing them together, making a beautiful violin. And she'll like stop and she'll see you all and she'll kind of go, "So good of you to join us, Itzel. I heard you have a solo tonight." And then keeps like playing her little legs.
Yeah, my solo's gonna knock you out of the park.
I'm sure it will, but not for the reasons that you think.
Good one. Not for the reasons you think, actually.
Oh, what a comeback. You've really been practicing. She's so bitchy. She gives a little glance down at Silk, just kind of a little glance.
Again with this. All the time. Just violin.
Virtuoso must always practice her art. It's the only way to achieve greatness.
Always, like, all night and day.
How do you deal with this, Silk?
As you try to talk, she like increases the volume of her legs to try to drown you out.
Wait, ready?
She has an entourage of like mean cricket girlfriends who are just like, they're not allowed. They have to like support her though. They're not allowed to. One of them is like, Bethany, can I try the lead tonight? Shut up, Jessica. it's mine.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so Itzel, you're escorted back to the frogs, crickets, and grasshoppers. You also notice that one of your frog buddies is practicing the routine with the lightning bugs, or the fireflies. Fireflies in this world, they're kind of like domestic animals to you. Like, they're not fully sapient. They're very trainable and very happy and eager and cute. They're like cute little bulbs of light that are like, they don't speak. They're just so excited to do tricks for they have a whole light show routine planned.
As I'm looking at the lightning bugs, I'm reminded of my sensei. Do I see her in the crowd?
Make an investigation.
+0. Okay, unfortunately, I got a 6.
You can't find Sensei anywhere. You're a little.
Sure.
You just gotta remember, make sure you just have in your gi.
Just have whiskey on me.
Hopefully, your mom doesn't see.
I'm gonna take I'm gonna try to take a little swig.
Okay, are you opening it? You'd have to break the bee seal on the top. It's a wax, beautiful seal.
Teacher's gonna know. Nah, I'll leave it.
Okay, I mean, hey, you can if you want.
I think she would respect her sensei a little too much.
Okay.
Or something like that.
All right. Honkers is their best name I've ever come up with.
I'm sorry, but every time you say it, I just think of, what do you call clown titties?
That's not what I was expecting just now. I don't know what I was expecting. Okay.
I am a clown.
Okay. Honkers is
Sorry.
not clown titties.
No, he's a goose.
He's a goose. He's a silly goose. He's going to be like saying hello to everyone and finding a good spot to like nestle down with Reggie and Janice. Because you guys are bigger than the bugs, you are kind of like a little further back. And Gregorian Archbishop finally clasps his hands together. Dearly beloved, are we ready? And everyone kind of sits. That's when all the frogs start marching. You're all going to encircle the podium and sing out to the crowd. Hopefully you have some performance proficiencies, because you're going to have to make a couple of performance checks.
So, I will be pretending to sing, but playing my little frog instrument.
So I'm really excited that you took that, because in my note, I put that anyone who uses it, it's a very easy instrument to play. So you get proficiency in your performance and you have advantage.
Oh, hell yeah.
Specifically to frog-based performances. It's very niche. I did not plan for it to be used in this way. I was just like, what the fuck would this instrument do? So.
Yeah. I'd imagine that my sleight of hand as a rogue monk would help me with that, just lore-wise.
Well, you will still have to use performance because you're still playing an instrument.
Right, yeah. But I'm just thinking, like, if I have proficiency and all of that stuff.
It's almost the same. It's a charisma-based check.
Well,
You look a little concerned. You have advantage. That is
my dump stat.
That is an equivalent of like a +5.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone take your seats. So Janice, Reggie, is there anything you would like to do before you take your seats? Before I rush this along. I'm not trying to.
The seats, or are they like grass patches and stuff?
There are grass. So closer to the pedestal are like benches made out of like wood, but then further out are grass. It's like a grassy little and like shallow amphitheater.
Can I get a maybe I blanked out or something, but can I get a general description? Are we outside this shed?
Yes, the filament is outside. It's right over the doorway.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
So you're under the stars. The lightning bugs are starting to swirl around. Ibli, chorus master Ibli, is gonna go like have her little conductor wand and then I need Itzel to make a performance check as you have advantage and use your proficiency.
Yeah. So when you say I'm proficient with that means I can add +2 to the roll?
Yes.
Okay.
If you're not already proficient. So it's not double proficiency. You are already proficient in performance?
Yeah.
Okay, then you don't have to add it again. Just add it once.
Okay. All right. Let us roll. Should I just roll twice?
Mhm.
Advantage?
Roll twice and take the higher. Oh my goodness.
A 7 and an 8. That is pretty cringe.
Yeah.
They're like, whoa! The crowd
So-
and then
You all...
But I'm playing my little instrument.
Yeah.
So.
So you unfortunately missed the timing of when everyone starts. So you just like start like a half second after or both ahead. You like go and everyone goes, oh. Your mother shoots you a very dirty glance, but you quickly fall back into chorus. The chorus begins. Everyone sits down. They're all shaking each other's hands. And they go, "Bold be with you. Bold be with you." They all sit down. After the performance after this like initial, like this is like when you're going to church and there's nice music playing as you sit in your seats. As it ends, you end a second too late and it's just like
The the little wooden stick gets like stuck on one
It's
of
like-
the rivets. I wish I had one. We used to have one growing up, and I don't have it. But
We'll have to get one for next week. After Archbishop ascends the podium, he opens up his beautiful wings and flutters up. And now he's like hovering directly underneath the filament. He gives a beautiful sermon about light guiding you and protecting you, a beacon in the dark that scares away the dangerous predators of night, a beacon that you will never get lost in the dark woods, a place that is always home. He tells, actually, Silk, do you want to give like kind of the, in a nutshell, surface level lore of the Moth Queen that would be said in a sermon? So not like the deep lore, but just like the basics.
Well, it was a long time ago. The Moth Queen led the Moth people here, and she declared that this was sacred ground, and she anointed the temple by becoming one with the filament. And ever since then, it would light up all on its own every time it got dark. And it's just been sort of a guide for our people.
So Gregorian recounts the story in a very poetic fairy tale kind of way. And then he says, tonight, 3 of our wonderful community members have lived beautiful and fulfilling lives. These 3, and he gestures to 3 elderly moths who are sitting in the front pew. They're like, these 3, Ambrose, Marthada, Basil. You have lived lives, you have loved, and your people and communities and families love you. And it is now time for you to rejoin the Moth Queen. And they all like clap, and Ambrose and Marthada and Basil all like shake their hands.
that I used to babysit me. She's awesome.
They're wearing like white, special white robes. You notice the sun slowly start to set, and all eyes go up to Gregorian. Beloved, behold the filament. And as if right on cue, the dark cube that is fastened to the entrance of the shed starts to hum, buzz, and with a big click, lights up bright. Itzel, please make a performance check as the frogs are supposed to swell in chorus at the appropriate time. 19. Oh, you were waiting for this part. You're like, I know this part.
The one part I do remember.
The frogs and the crickets and the grasshoppers all like, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. And the light just beams open and everyone goes, ah. And just for a moment, everyone, as the chorus is just singing angelically, people are wiping tears out of their eyes. You all bask in the filament. Reggie, you're like, that's the filament. Honkers is sitting there like this. Honkers is kicking his feet. He's sitting on his butt. And he's sitting on his belly. And he's kicking his feet like at a sleepover. And he's got his hand and he's just like, ah. Well, kid, what do y'all think? He says to Janice and Reggie.
I'm gonna reach for my juice box or an extra thing I have and just start occupying myself.
Ah, bless them little hearts. They just see the wonder in the most mundane things.
Yeah, Itzel's definitely looking to see how Reggie's reacting.
My facial expression probably says it all. I'm like, I don't get it, but like I'm trying to be really nice and be like, this is lovely. Having a great time.
After the choir finishes its swells, the Archbishop nods to Brian and Silk to approach the podium and to take the sacrament and start passing it out throughout the pews. How does Silk handle this?
I think she's inspired by the light and by the story of the Moth Queen, and I think she's finally ready to hand them out.
Your dad looks down at you with the warmest little moth smile. He goes, "Proud of you, princess."
Aw.
You pass out the sacrament first to the row by row. And after one has, everyone just sits back and goes, and you just go, "Bulb be with you. Bulb be with you."
Bobby, yeah.
Finally,
She's mixing up her words. Even bulb with you.
by the bulb.
I'm halfway through. I'm my stomach's really getting to me, and I'm okay. Bobby with you. Bobby with you. Bobby with you.
After the sacrament is served, everyone gets back in their seats, all comfortable. And Gregorian looks at the three elderly moths and nods. It is time. It'll make a performance check to see if you start on time. Hey, you wanted to be in the choir.
I didn't want to be in the choir. Well, I wanted her to be in the choir, but where are we? I'm 12.
You almost hit it too loud. You blend in, but your mom gives you a venomous glance. She's just like, "This is the most important performance of the year." Your mom is usually not this cranky. She gets exacerbated by you, but she's particularly stressed out today, and it's just scary.
Yeah, I'm just sweating.
The chorus starts to swell again, and the three draped in white elders approach the podium. Their family members come up to them and give them hugs, and they kiss their foreheads. They shake hands with their friends, and they all turn and look up at the light and unfurl their wings and start to flutter, slowly hovering upright. Their eyes take in the filament, and they enter almost like a trance as they start floating closer and closer to the light. Silk, you know that they will not be returning from this journey. You're not supposed to touch the filament unless you're ready to meet the Moth Queen. In fact, it is said that in olden days, they used to sacrifice sinners to the filament against their will, but that practice is long gone.
That's barbaric.
Yeah, now it's only willing passing. The three of them approach the filament closer and closer, all together. And just as they are within reach and they feel the warmth of the bulb on their faces, and they are ready to accept the passing to the next life, there is a loud pop, and everything goes dark. For a second, you hear, and you just hear gasps as everyone's eyes hasn't adjusted to the darkness. It was like really bright a second ago, and now it's just dark. As you kind of blink and look around, the filament is not lit. There's a wave of whispers. What? Where'd the light go? What happened?
What's going on?
Filament. Gregorian starts reaching out. He's looking up, and he's like, Silk? Where are you, honey?
Throw up.
You just hear, and suddenly you hear a twisted, wicked cackle. All right, boys. And suddenly screams erupt. Beady red eyes shine through the darkness as a wave of roaches start scuttling from out of the shed. Everybody in the congregation starts screaming and trying to get out of their seats. All the flying bugs just fly away. All the birds fly away. The flightless bugs, the crawling bugs in the audience are overwhelmed as a wave of cockroaches starts pouring over them. What do you guys do?
I immediately fly up and try to find my dad.
He is make an investigation. It is chaos. There's flying everywhere. There's bees and moths and flies and mosquitoes. Just
I'm gonna rush over and like try to protect my mom.
You're gonna hop for your mom is like, Hitzel, what is happening? What are these?
I don't know. Stay behind me. I'll protect you.
Well, we gotta go. As you say that, you see one of the frogs is like kind of hustling towards you and then is completely pounced on by a bunch of these roaches who start tearing him limb from limb.
Oh my gosh.
Silk, what was your investigation?
Not real, man.
What, you thought this was going to be a sweet fairy tale?
They've got like built-in armor too.
Yeah, these guys, were not aware that this many roaches lived in this area. This is Silk. You're like, where do they come from? Silk, what was your investigation? 16. It takes a second. There's flying everywhere, but you float up from the crowd. You start looking around and you see your dad, who is also looks like he's searching for you, and he meets eyes with you and swoops over, and his enormous, beautiful wings protectively sweep around you. And you just hear him say, I got you, sweetie. We gotta go.
Dad, I'm scared. What about my friends?
He looks down. Looks like the goose is with them. They should be fine. And he said, come on, we gotta go.
What is the goose doing?
The goose? The honkers is standing there with his wings outright like a shield. Get behind me, kids! Get these crazy roaches away from me!
The head movements really add a lot.
He should be like a goblin. He should be tasting them and see if they're snacks or not.
He's snipping at them and biting at them. He seems kind of disgusted by them. They are roaches. But they're nipping at his little legs, and he's kind of like starts to do a little hot lava dance. He's like, all right, time to go. Jump on my back. And Janice and Reggie, he offers you his back.
I am ready to go. I have a question. Are these roaches like small enough for me to grab and eat? Because I know raccoons like to eat those things.
So I would say these are the size of a roach that you might have eaten. However, there are like millions of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take that goose ride. Be like, all right, I'll put his goggles on for him.
He goes, ah! And he's going to start trying to flap up, but you guys are heavy. So he kind of like, the two of you, so he's kind of like right next to the ground, his little feet dragging. You have your mom with her. She's like, let's go. And you start hopping. Janice, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try and get on the back. I am gonna remember that I have my glaive though. So
okay.
I'm gonna like.
So you're like
out.
maybe. Oh yeah, you reveal the glaive. It's chaotic enough that the other woodland creatures don't really notice. However, a band of roaches that are trying to assault you see it, and their eyes flash, and then they smile a little bit. That's a nice trinket you got there. You should hand it over. And
for my dead body.
Honkers is like, oh, we're going. And he's going to try to fly. Silk, you see Honkers flying with your friends, and so does your dad.
Can I signal to them?
They're kind of going away from you, but your dad encourages you to maybe catch up with them, with the two of you. So you start flying that direction.
Yeah.
Okay. And Itzel, you and your mom start hopping. But Itzel, I'm going to need you to make an athletics check to see if you can push through the crowd fast enough. Itzel's getting all the rolls.
I love it. 16.
Okay, you shove your way through, frogs going everywhere. Those who are unlucky enough to get away.
You're just plowing people down. Sacrificing everyone to
the roach army is just, they are starting to you are able to break away from the main carnage. You get towards the edge of the wood, and Honkers finally stops and rolls onto the ground. He's like, I'm sorry, kids. I'm not as strong as I used to be. And he's going to try to wiggle you guys off of his back. This is terrible. And then he flaps up. I need to tell someone. This is bad news. This is real bad news. Without the filament, those roaches got nothing stopping them from taking over. Hey, are you guys going to be okay? I'm going to go find some help. Just get to the pond. And then he's going to start flapping away, with his head turned around looking at you. To the pond! Get to the pond! Everyone make a perception check really fast.
$11.
13.
5.
13 or 16. Sorry.
16. Janice, as you guys start to flee into the woods, you hear, where you think you're going. And from behind the trees, a little band of roaches cracking their knuckles and rubbing their hands together and licking their lips look at you. You're not leaving with that pretty little trinket or your pretty little limbs. And you all are standing there aghast. And as they prepare to attack you, that is where we're going to leave today's session.
That was amazing.
Hold on, let me put the music back on. It got a little suddenly dark. That concludes our very first episode 1 of Once Upon a Woodland. Will our little woodland heroes survive this attack? Will they discover the reason behind the filament suddenly going out? What is the connection between the roaches and the filament? And also, will Sensei ever get her whiskey? Tune in next week in Once Upon a Woodland. Not Once Upon a Forest.
Can I tell you how Itzel was like reacting / feeling about seeing the elderly moth ladies? Like, I just want to tell you like her thoughts. So I was joking around saying like, oh yeah, she's my babysitter, but she probably is not being much of a believer. Probably is sad to see the ladies do this whole midsummer ritual.
I was gonna say, stick around for 3 days and somebody gets sewn into a bear suit.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that movie, but I heard it's creepy.
It's a really good movie, but basically just the elderly self-suicide thing.
It's
seeing the bulb
it's
go
medically
out-
assisted passing.
Ritual assisted passing. But then seeing the bulb go out was probably like an instant of relief for a moment, and then obviously the chaos would have been just like, oh shit, okay, let me put my training to use and protect my mom.
What was Silk thinking?
I think that she's just sort of in a panic, like, how could this happen? Like, nothing bad has ever happened here. And she's just been so comfortable, you know, hanging out in her library all the time.
Yeah,
so
your
I
whole
think
world
she's-
is getting turned upside down. How is Reggie feeling?
I would say a little confused. I don't think she's ever seen so many cockroaches at once. But ready to, take on what's going to happen. But yeah, I don't think she really took in everything that went on with the filament. I think she's still trying to understand what happened because like the show got cut or like didn't get cut off midway, but with everything on, she wants to ask questions. So,
And
yeah.
how's Janice feeling?
She is excited to use her glaive on these nasty little jerks.
She's like, finally. All right. Well, I am so happy to have run this session for you guys. Everyone in the chat, please follow these beautiful, wonderful creators. And we'll all be back next week for some roach combat. I got all week to plan this and make some maps and give you guys a real challenge. All right. I am going to cut you all loose. And I will talk to y'all soon. So see you next time.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.